Southern Miss Today can be heard Monday through Thursday at noon on WUSM. And now to start the show, the news.
Reporting for Southern Miss Today, I'm Melissa Cole. In local news, according to WDAM, the College of Health at the University of Southern Mississippi received a $500 donation for Mississippi Organ Recovery Agency's Donate Life 2013 Donor Challenge. The MORA is a nonprofit organization with a mission to inspire all Mississippians to save and enhance lives through organ, eye, and tissue donation. During the fall, Southern Miss participated with other universities across Mississippi, including Ole Miss, Alcorn, and Jackson State, to see which university could register the most organ and tissue donors. Graduate student ambassador Janet Davy Kramer says receiving these funds will allow us to participate in other health-related events in the community. USM students, faculty, and alumni responded to the challenge by registering more than 300 people. The Golden Eagles finished in second place, right behind Ole Miss. In state news, according to WJTV, Camille Scales Young, a Madison County, made history Tuesday of being honored in the Mississippi House of Representatives as the first female African-American president of the Mississippi State University Alumni Association. Before Young became president, she served in multiple positions across the state. She served the country as an outreach and public affairs specialist for the United States Department of Agriculture and museum liaison for the Representative Mississippi Civil Rights Project, and a government affairs representative with one of the top law firms in the state. Young has been honored for her professional accomplishments and service to the community. As an inductee of the Mississippi Business Journal's Top 50 Businesswomen, Young's family was present for the ceremony, along with former Governor William Winter. In regional news, according to KHOU Texas, a Houston construction worker escaped from a fifth-floor balcony of a burning building Wednesday. 56-year-old Curtis Reseg, a superintendent of construction at a luxury apartment complex in downtown Houston, was notified by another employee that the ongoing project was on fire. The fire grew faster, and Reseg was forced to look for an opening on the lead that led him to fresh air, which brought him to the fifth-floor balcony. Seconds later, the flame began to waver out towards the balcony, causing the worker to hang his body off the balcony's ledge, swing, and jump on the fourth floor's unfinished balcony. Moments later, the firefighters were unable to reach Reseg and bring him back to safety. In national news, according to the Associated Press, Democratic Governor Daniel Malloy, along with other voters, are celebrating the approval of a minimum raise and increased by Connecticut lawmakers Wednesday. The state approved the new minimum wage of $10.10 to be in effect by 2017. So far, San Francisco and Washington, D.C. will try to outbid Connecticut by increasing their wages to $10.74 and even $11.45 by 2016. However, some Republican senators acknowledge the new bill may benefit people, but questions were raised regarding whether small businesses would struggle and if the state's economy is strong enough to absorb such an increase. Malloy says he is proud that Connecticut is again a leader on an issue of national importance. In world news, according to CNN, a Thai satellite has spotted 300 objects floating in the southern Indian Ocean that may be traced back to the Malaysian Flight 370 that vanished back on March 8th with 239 people on board. However, authorities say they are still unsure if the objects are from the plane. The remote location of the spotted objects is making it difficult for recovery efforts. The location of the floating objects is more than 1,500 miles from Perth, Australia, nearly the same distance from Washington, D.C. to Denver. Also in world news, according to CNN, President Barack Obama and Pope Francis met for the first time today. Obama gave the Pope a bag of seeds as a gift. The goal of the meeting is to focus on areas where two of the world's most influential men agree and gently tread on ground where they differ. Obama and the Pope are slated to talk about economic and social issues, more importantly, income equality. Also, President Obama is meeting with Italian Prime Minister Matteo Renzi today. That is all for your news. After the break, we'll have sports and weather. I'm Melissa Cole reporting for Southern Miss Today.
exposure for your business or product, appreciation from a dedicated audience, and establishing yourself as a caring member of the Hattiesburg community are only a few of the benefits of sponsoring programming on WUSM. Our very cost-effective underwriting rates are completely tax-deductible. To learn more about the upsides of underwriting programming on WUSM, call 601-266-4258.
According to the Clarion Ledger, Southern Miss claimed a 4-run, 6th-inning victory against the Ole Miss Rebels at Trustmark Stadium on Tuesday night. The Golden Eagles have now won 6 of 7 games against the Rebels. Cody Carroll started the game leading with 5.2 innings, while teammate A.J. Glasshoff picked up the victory in relief during a surge past number 9 in the 4th-run, 6th inning. According to ESPN, NCAA Sweet 16 action kicks off tonight with Dayton versus Stanford, Baylor versus Wisconsin, UCLA versus Florida, and San Diego State versus Arizona. In weather, according to the National Weather Service, today there is a 20% chance of rain after 5 p.m., mostly cloudy with a high near 73, winds 10 to 15 miles per hour this afternoon. This weekend there will be a thunderstorm on Friday after 5 with a high near 80. However, Saturday will mostly be sunny with a high near 75 with light winds. That is all for your Southern Miss Today news. After the break, we'll have your local music only on Southern Miss Today.
Students, when I call the reason for your absences throughout the years, please exit the auditorium without your high school diploma. Too tired, family trip, sick day, starting the holidays early.
Starting in the 6th grade, students who miss 18 days or more of school in a year for any reason will fall behind and risk not graduating high school. How many days of school has your child missed this year? Absences add up. Keep track at boostattendance.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Army and the Ad Council.
Her hair's like honey, eyes sparkle like the rain. She wears a holy crown, made of motorcycle chain. She's a wild magnolia on the Mississippi nose. She beats the bells of Natchez. She's the queen of Tupelo. Queen of Tupelo. She's the queen of Tupelo. She lives up in a tower down the old Satilla Road. When she was just a princess and her daddy was the king, all his drinking and his cheating made her mama mean. Now she's as hot as diamonds, she's as cold as snow. There ain't no talking to her. She's the queen of Tupelo. Queen of Tupelo. She's the queen of Tupelo. She lives up in a tower down the old Satilla Road. Yeah, I'm by. If you ever see her, she'll cast a spell on you. And if you try to hold her, she'll break your heart in two. They can take your land and cotton, all of Mississippi knows. They'll never take my memories of the queen of Tupelo. She's the queen of Tupelo. Queen of Tupelo. She lives up there in a tower down the old Satula Road. She's the queen of Tupelo. Queen of Tupelo. She lives up in a tower down the old Satula Road.
Hey, I'm Corinne, and you're listening to Southern Miss Today. It's Thursday, March 27th. Today we have musician Wes Lee, Dr. Rebecca Morgan-Frank, and right now we'll kick it off with Bailey Matheny and Aaron Williams. Thanks for coming, you guys.
Thanks for having us.
And y'all are here to talk to us about Passion for Fashion.
Yes.
Tell us about Passion for Fashion. What is this?
Passion for Fashion is a consignment shop put on by the fashion merchandising students at the University of Southern Miss. And, it's consists of, a whole bunch of, clothes in your closet that you just don't want anymore.
Yeah.
But not raggedy clothes, but, new.
So like a consignment shop or, kind of like a polyester
right.
kind of feel.
That's exactly
but on
what
the street.
it is.
Right.
Yeah.
So how involved are the students in this?
The students are very involved in it because, we do, a planning, the store planning, even within a consignment shop, we're your stylists. We also, what else do we do?
We have the styling services. We are the ones that do the promotional plan for the store. We basically get everything in the store ready for everyone. Then we take on, the logistics of it, the money aspect of it, the accounting, the customer service, and then, of course, our teamwork skills and everything like that would also come from the classroom.
Is this going to be inside?
Yes.
Okay.
It's inside the union.
Who benefits from Passion for Fashion?
Everybody really benefits from Passion for Fashion because if you don't really want to consign, then you can always just donate your clothes.
Yeah.
And all you have to do is contact us. We'll get a time with you that you can drop them off with us. Other than that, if you want to make a little bit of money from Passion for Fashion, you can benefit from that because you get 60% of the proceeds from the clothes that you sell to us. So you can make a little bit of money. And after that, the clothes are going to go to Goodwill or anywhere like that that'll take donations. Unless you want your clothes back, then you can absolutely have them back as well. But if not, donating them. So make a little money for yourself, and then they can also go to a good cause.
And then the 40% will go to
the fashion merchandising program, and that goes to scholarships within the fashion merchandising program, as well as it funds the things that we do as an organization.
Awesome. Tell us some examples of some items that we'll see. A Passion for Fashion.
We're going to see a lot of different items. We're going to have anything from casual wear, exercise wear, outerwear. We're going to have formal. If you're looking for a cocktail dress or a prom dress, we're going to have shoes, belts, handbags, jewelry, children's clothes, men's, women's, plus sizes, petite sizes, a little bit of everything.
Awesome. Just no swimwear.
No swimwear and no undergarments, obviously.
So what about the price range?
Price range is really affordable. That's the whole point of it. When you price your own clothing with Passion for Fashion, the clothes that you want to sell, you price them. So nicer clothes, obviously, just at an affordable price for college students, because that's the point of Passion for Fashion. It's nice clothes that you can get at a reasonable price.
So who qualifies to bring in their clothes? Does it need to be a store, or can it just be somebody that has some extra clothes, or somebody that makes their own stuff? Anybody?
Anybody can. We try to get stores within the Hattiesburg area to donate if they have anything, such as Eve Marie's or some of the local boutiques. Click Downtown, we try to get them involved. If they have anything to donate, they'll donate it to us. And then anybody that has at least 5 items in their closet that they want to consign and make a little bit of money or donate, we welcome it all.
So what are the steps that they need to take? If somebody has 5 items or more that they would like to consign, maybe make a little money, clear out their closet for some more clothes, what do they need to do? Who should they contact?
All you have to do is get on our website, and our website is passionforfashion.org, and you go to the consigner tab. You register to become a consigner. From there, we email you all the information that you need. It's going to be within the website where you put in the clothes, the price, and from there, it basically does the rest of it for you. You price your clothes, and you're done.
So they need to price their clothes and then bring the clothes to you guys before the consignment, before the day of the consignment shop, right?
Yes.
Or the passion for
the day that
fashion
they
event.
bring it to us will be that Sunday, which is April the 6th, and they have a drop-off time from
10 a.m. to 4 p.m.
Yeah.
Okay, and what date is the sale?
The sale is April 7th through the 11th, and it will be in the Union on the second floor, rooms A and B, and it's going to be every day from 9 a.m. to 5:30.
Yes.
Why are you guys passionate about fashion? Have you always been passionate about fashion when you were little?
Yeah, when I was little, I used to like just play dress up and everything else, and I would always just care about how I looked and everything else. So that's why I'm a fashion merchandising major, and like I just wanted to enjoy it. Like it's something that you do every day. You put on clothes.
Yeah.
Everything is fashion, pretty much.
I'm the same way, and for me, I'm not all about, people think fashion, they think trendy, or, the things that they see maybe celebrities wearing, and I'm more of a classic type person, so I like to bring something unique to fashion. I don't always have to be in your face or the latest trends. I stick to the more classic side of it, and so I like to bring something unique to the table for
So who are some of your
fashion.
style icons?
Going back to me talking about how I like the more classic styles, I'm more of a Audrey Hepburn and, Elizabeth Taylor and Marilyn Monroe. I like to take little pieces
that
from the
too.
classic icons.
Currently, I like Kim Kardashian and Angela Simmons. So,
Is it too late for consigners to get involved?
No, it is not too late for consigners to get involved, but we do have a deadline. So you have to register with Passion for Fashion by Thursday, April the 3rd, and that's going to be the last day that you will be eligible to consign with us.
All right, and tell us what time and where the event's going to take place one more time.
It's going to be in the Union, and that's on the second floor. It'll be rooms A and B, and it's going to be, once again, April 7th through the 11th, 9 a.m. to 5:30.
What are some of your favorite local places to shop?
Oh gosh, we love
Batiche.
Right, and then of course Forever 21.
I know y'all said earlier you like the online shop, which
We're
I do
big
too.
online shoppers, so Francesca's online or
Zara.
American Apparel,
Definitely.
places like that.
Well, we'll put all that information on our Facebook page. Thank you guys so much for coming.
No problem.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Coming up, we have Buzz in the Berg, but before that, we've got some music for you, Passing by Carrie Hudson. We'll be right back with Southern Miss Today.
The sun's coming up on a brand new day, a cup of coffee and I'm on my way out of this town and on down the line. I hadn't felt so free and I don't know when I'm going back on the road again, 'cause I got to be, but that suits me just fine. But being domesticated is highly overrated, and even though I try, it don't satisfy. So I'm passing by, just passing by. Faces of long lost friends and places that I've never been are calling me on. I gotta travel in Jones again. Might go down to Mexico, call up a girl that I used to know, and see if she remembers way back when. I put on my walking shoes, I sang these bittersweet blues, but I won't cry. I wonder why I'm passing by, I'm passing by. Goodbye, girl, I wish you well. I guess I miss your time will tell. Either way, it's gonna be okay. You got the prettiest eyes that I've ever seen, sometime brown and sometime green, and a smile that I won't forget while I'm away. This is just the way things are, it was written in the stars, so darling, please don't cry. I wonder why I'm passing by, passing by. Passing by.
Sponsorship for WUSM comes from The Thirsty Hippo, located at 309 McLeod Street. The Thirsty Hippo serves beer, liquor, wine, and a full food menu with hard-to-find vegetarian items. They are open for lunch from 11 a.m. until 2 p.m. The Thirsty Hippo can be found on the internet at thirstyhippo.com.
Hello, I'm Jen with Hub City Music. Find us on Facebook at /Hub City Music page. It's time for Buzz in the Berg on Southern Miss Radio. Buzz in the Berg is sponsored by Southern Beverage.
A portion of WUSM's broadcast is being underwritten by Southern Beverage Company. Southern Beverage distributes quality Anheuser-Busch products as well as craft beers from Tommyknocker, Tallgrass, and others. Southern Beverage can be reached by phone at 601-368-9111 or found on the internet at southernbeverage.com.
Monday, March 24th. Mark Mann at Marlin's Grill at 6 p.m. U.S. Men's, Women's, and Concert Choirs at Parkway Heights United Methodist Church at 8 p.m. Tuesday, March 25th. T-Bones Tuesday at Mahogany Bar at 8 p.m. Open mic at the Thirsty Hippo at 9 p.m. Wednesday, March 26th. Adam McAdory at Sully's Tavern at 7 p.m. Alan Mann at Marlin's Grill at 8 p.m. Thursday, March 27th. Lloyd, Hurricane Munn, and BC Dewitt at Conestoga Steakhouse at 6 p.m. Scott Chisholm and the Better Half at Walnut Circle Grill at 7 p.m. Trevor Chiangoli at Cotton Blues at 7 p.m. Adam Doliak, Brett Jones, the Drew Goff Band, and Daryl Worley at Ropers at 8 p.m. Ralph Nix and the Catfish Gospel at Skylight Lounge at 8 p.m. Friday, March 28th. Adam McAdory at Georgia Blue at 7 p.m. Andrew Ellis at Cotton Blues at 7 p.m. Davis Cohen at Walnut Circle Grill at 7 p.m. Soundcheck at the All Ranks Club at 8 p.m. Carrie Hudson at Marlin's Grill at 8 p.m. Sarah Bryan Lewis at the Skylight Lounge at 8:30 p.m. Face on Mars and Emerald Heavy at the Thirsty Hippo at 9 p.m. The Trio at Sully's Tavern at 10 p.m. Velcro Pygmies at Brewski's at 10 p.m. Mark Mann and the Marked Men at Marlin's Grill at 10:30 p.m. Flow Tribe at Benny's Boom Boom Room at 10:30 p.m. Saturday, March 29th. Hubfest featuring Andy Griggs, Anna Morgan Mitchell, Dumpsta Funk, and many more. For more information, go to theadp.com. Mark Mann at Walnut Circle Grill at 11:30 a.m. Chris McPhill, Cold Day Memory, and STA at the Root Beer Saloon at 4 p.m. Aaron Coker at Georgia Blue at 7 p.m. Angel Azara and the Ocean Quartet at Cotton Blues at 7 p.m. Dr. E at Walnut Circle Grill at 7 p.m. Mississippi Ballroom Dancing Association at Java Works at 7 p.m. Chad Watson and Thomas Jackson at Marlin's Grill at 8 p.m. Megan May at Nick's Ice House at 10 p.m. Christworm and Ostrov at the Tavern at 10 p.m. American Aquarium at Benny's Boom Boom Room at 10 p.m. Blackwater at Sully's Tavern at 10 p.m. Davis Cohen at Marlin's Grill at 10:30 p.m. Sunday, March 30th. Open mic at Cedar Cove. Jesse Howell at Marlin's Grill at 5 p.m. Thomas Jackson at Chesterfield's at 5 p.m. Join me 4 times a day, Monday through Saturday, for Buzz in the Berg on Southern Miss Radio. Buzz in the Berg is sponsored by Southern Beverage.
You're listening to Southern Miss Today. I'm your host, Corrine. It's Thursday, March 27th. In case you're just tuning in, we just spoke with Bailey Matheny and Aaron Williams, and we'll have more details about that on our Facebook page. Later, we'll speak with musician Wes Lee, but for now, let's keep the energy moving with Dr. Rebecca Morgan-Frank. Thanks for coming.
Thanks so much for having me here again.
And you're here to talk to us about the Writer Series. What is the Writer Series?
The Visiting Writer Series
has been around for over 30 years here at USM, and so the Center for Writers and the Department of English bring in nationally and internationally recognized poets and fiction writers to come and give readings that are open to the graduate students, the undergraduates, the community, and those writers usually work with our students as well.
And we're right at the tail end of it, right? Isn't that what you said earlier? This will be the last speaker.
Yes, we've had a wonderful lineup this year, and I'm here to talk about our last reader.
How many speakers or writers have we had?
So this year we had, in the fall, we had Michael Ferris Smith, a Mississippi fiction writer, and Kevin Young, a National Book Award nominated poet. And already this spring we have had poet Adam Vines from University of Alabama, and Justin Torres, who is a first book fiction writer who's just kind of taken the world by storm, and who came here a few weeks ago.
That's awesome. So who's going to be the last speaker?
So we're very excited for our last visitor. His name is Alex Lemon, and he's the author of a memoir and 4 books of poems, most recently a collection called The Wish Book.
Tell us a little bit about Alex.
Okay, great. Yes, one of the interesting things I think about him is that he's written a memoir also, that when he was a college student, he was a baseball player, and he had suffered a stroke and had a couple of brain bleeds. And he had a really rough path of learning how to walk and talk, and had some substance abuse issues with trying to deal with that, with that, and the book is called Happy, and that was his college nickname, and obviously that experience really changed him, and he's also a very accomplished poet. He teaches at Texas Christian University, and and is just continuing to publish terrific books.
I looked up one of his poetry books called Mosquito, and I read like a couple excerpts from it. It was amazing. I'm totally going to get it. Somebody described it as broken and brilliant, and I liked that. So from what I've seen, he's written a few books, mostly poetry, right?
Yeah.
So what is he going to speak about? Is he
so he'll be reading from his latest collection, The Wish Book, and all our readings are usually followed by a question and answer where students and community members can ask him about writing, and also a book signing. Barnes and Noble on campus brings books, and you have a chance to
So
talk
anyone's
to the author.
welcome to come and see him or ask him a question.
Absolutely.
And they can, like, maybe for aspiring writers or somebody that's just like a fan of his can come and ask him questions.
Absolutely. I think everyone, whether all of our students that want to be writers, but also I found, all of our students that come, sometimes from our literature classes in the English department are all really excited about the opportunity to hearing someone read their own work is much different than reading it on the page, and getting to talk to the person who made this work of art.
Yeah, that's great. So you brought the book with you today. Would you like to read a little excerpt from it for us?
Yes, absolutely. Cool. Thank you. And I thought I would just read the title poem. And this is called The Wish Book. The moon croons ghosts and curtains lift into the room, magic and shine. The moon sings, light of pinball machines over the skin of the world. The moon whispers, pretty, pretty, pleads for you. The moon croons lost and stare, a hole in its stare, it whole, love-dusted, new, each opening time, each moth-thin page, each dark glowing flesh. Pity those that die, the moon sings. The moon whispers without dynamite. The moon pleads the bathtub filled. The moon bellows bubble slick, balls glory, glory with blood. The moon croons, let me cover you. The moon sings, who is inside you? The moon whispers, did you hear something out there, out there? What will you say to them when I'm gone?
That's beautiful.
Yeah, I think it's, his poems in this book really are a range. Some of them maybe not as appropriate for radio, to not be able to kind of take your time with them.
Yeah.
But that's the really lovely title poem.
And if somebody wants to get that book, it's at Barnes and Noble, right?
Absolutely, and they'll be bringing them for readings for people to purchase, and you can also, as you did, find some of the poems online to get a better taste before the reading.
Why would you influence a writer or any student to attend a writer series?
I think it's an incredible opportunity that we have. First of all, these nationally and internationally recognized writers coming here to USM.
Yeah, why wouldn't you take advantage of that?
Yeah, to sort of meet them and hear about them, their process making the work, and poetry is meant to be read and to be heard, and it's such a different experience. Cultures have listened to poetry and recited poetry, many different cultures over hundreds and thousands of years, because it gives us an opportunity to come together and hear the sound. There's a music to poetry as well.
And like you were kind of mentioning earlier, anyone can relate to a poem, or like when I was asking you why do you think poetry or reading is important for a student?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's Rita Dove says poetry is language at its most distilled and most powerful, and I think it's no coincidence that often for funerals and weddings, these most important moments in our life, people turn to poetry. But poetry is there for all the moments in our day-to-day life, where we can share moments of culture and things that regular language makes us. We have a hard time expressing through regular language.
Exactly, like it can express what you're feeling.
Yes, and not just feelings, but complex thoughts, the experience of being in the world. I mean, even the Bible has poetry, right?
Yeah.
And
maybe one poem will mean one thing to one person, and something totally different to someone else.
Absolutely.
So, Poetry Month is coming up. When is Poetry Month? Talk to us about that.
Yes, Poetry Month is for the whole month of April. This has started in 1996 by the Academy of American Poets, and it's just a great way, hopefully you're reading and thinking about poetry all year long. We certainly are over at the Center for Writers, but to sort of remind everyone else that poetry is there to be in your life. And we have some great events planned. One is, of course, the reading on April 8th with Alex Lemon. And then the day before that, our poetry graduate students are putting on a poetry egg hunt.
So that'll be the 7th?
Yes, the 7th.
Okay. Tell us about this poetry egg hunt.
Well, those little plastic eggs as a little kid that you would hunt for that were filled with candy.
Yeah, sometimes dollars if you were lucky.
Oh, wow. Well, better than dollars is poetry. So the students are going to hand-pick poems to put in each egg and hide these through the LAB, the Liberal Arts Building. And people are invited to come on that Monday, the 7th, and find an egg and find a poem for Poetry Month. And who knows what else will be in those eggs. Maybe we're not promising dollars, but
maybe a little chocolate. But then it can melt onto the poetry.
That's true. That's true. That's the risk.
So, what else is going to be going on for Poetry Month? Are you having anything else?
Well, the egg hunt, the Alex Lemon reading, there will be an event at the Thirsty Hippo, which will be faculty reading and literary death match for our graduate students on the April the 5th. That's a Saturday, and we'll be celebrating poetry all month long.
If somebody wants to see that information or ask you guys any questions about any of the events, what's the best way they can do that? Is this information online somewhere?
Sure, yes. You can just go to the English Department website, www.usm.edu/English, and there's some great slides on there for the Visiting Writer Series. You can just click right on those and find out about other events in the English Department and the Center for Writers. One other thing that's going to happen in April is that our student literary journal, Product, which publishes graduate students and undergraduates, there's going to be a launch party. We don't have a date yet for that, but if you stay tuned and follow the website, it's going to be really fun to come and celebrate student writers.
Awesome. Somebody came on earlier this semester, and they were talking about Product having like a little competition, like the poetry competition. Is that over?
We've already taken all the submissions, and so the graduate students are busy reading those and selecting a winner. But yes, and to keep in mind for next year that those are coming with cash prizes.
Yeah.
So $100 to each of the winners in that, and as well as being published
So remind everyone again the date of the writer series.
Okay, yes. That's Tuesday, April 8th at 5:30 p.m. And the theater department has generously allowed us to come visit them over in the Woods Theater. So the reading will take place in the Woods Theater at 5:30 Tuesday, April 8th.
Okay, thanks for coming, and it was great to meet you. We'll put all that information on our Facebook page as well.
Okay, great. Thank you so much for having me.
After the break, we'll end the show with musician Wes Lee. We'll be right back with Southern Miss Today.
More than 100 million wild animals are killed each year illegally. Poaching is a major threat to our country's wildlife. I'm Tom Barry. I'm an actor with a desire to preserve living space for wildlife. The Humane Society Wildlife Land Trust does just that. Works with private landowners to protect wildlife, to preserve natural habitats. To learn more or to work with the Humane Society Wildlife Land Trust, call 800-729-SAVE. That's 800-729-SAVE, or visit wildlifelandtrust.org. Thank you.
Won't you take me back to where I'm from? Won't now take me to see the morning sun? Laughter fills the air, and they dance without a care. Oh Lord, take me back home. Yeah, I wanna go to see my Gulf again. Feel the cool sand and do some micro fishing, yeah. Gonna take my sweet old time and it made me feel so good inside. Oh Lord, baby, yeah, take me back home. Baby, yeah, back to where I'm from. Land of the whiskey, baby, the moon shining, Lord knows I'd run. Yeah, we'll sing and dance all night and make love until the morning light. Oh Lord, take me back home. We'll sing and dance all night and make love until the morning light. Oh Lord, yeah, take me on back home. Yeah, we'll sing and dance all night and make love until the morning light. Oh Lord, take me back home. Oh, that's right. Oh Lord, take me back home. Oh Lord, won't you take me back home?
You're listening to Southern Miss Today. I'm your host, Corrine, and it's 12:44, Thursday, March 27th. Earlier in the show, we spoke with Bailey Matheny and Aaron Williams and Dr. Rebecca Morgan Frank. But right now, we're going to wrap things up with musician Wes Lee. Thanks for coming, Wes.
Thanks for having me.
So tell us about the song that you just played for us.
That's a song called Take Me Back Home. That's off my newest album, Wood and Steel, that I released in October.
When did you write that one?
When?
Yeah.
A couple of months after the deal that went down in the Gulf with the oil spill. And
oh, okay. Was that your inspiration?
I'm sorry?
Was that your inspiration?
Yeah, because, you know, I was real far from home, and I was cold. I wanted to be back on the water. I wanted to be back around here. And then, you know, nobody knew what the water was going to do, you know. And so I just wanted to, you know, I'd hate to not be able to have my golf anymore.
Yeah. I read on your website that you spend hundreds of days a year spreading the word about your brand of root music.
That's right. Explain
that to me.
Okay. Well, traditionally, the way that you make stuff happen is you get in the car and you drive. That's the old school way. You know, there wasn't the social media and then the telephone was invented and you could call. But so I pound the pavement. The way that you spread the gospel is to go see people.
Yeah.
That's, you know, social media is real cool and does its thing and has its place. But for guys like myself, there's nothing that beats the road and being on it all the time. So we take it to the people. We take it and go play for people. And that's, you know, have personal engagement and, you know, connect people with the songs, with the artists.
Yeah.
And, you know, that's what
like we were talking about earlier, you said that you get inspiration from lots of different genres of music and
Absolutely.
You incorporate all of those different things.
Yes, all the time. You know, I think if you looked on the website, you saw the new logo that we had Kara in Seattle, Washington do. And it was, you know, we were talking to her and it was like, well, what do you want it to be? And I was like, well, I want it to be, you know, my guitars, how weird they are, but it's roots music. And what this encompasses is, you know, everything.
Traditional with a modern twist.
Traditional with a modern twist, that's right.
So you're well known for playing eclectic-looking guitars.
Yes.
Tell me about that.
I love my National Resonator guitars. They were invented in 1926 by the Dopier brothers. They were designed because back in the day it was horn players and vocalists and stuff, and there were no PA systems. Guitar amplifiers had not been built. The electric guitar was years from being introduced, you know, even invented. So until then, these were the loudest guitars on the planet. And in the, you know, by the time the Great Depression hit and everything, they were starting to make their way into Mississippi, and Tampa Red recorded with one. Son House was known for using them, Buka White, and they're just so cool looking.
When were you first introduced to this type of guitar? I know you said your first guitar was just like a plain old acoustic.
Right, my first guitar was just a regular, what, you know, old timers call a box guitar or a flat top guitar. I was playing I was in like Cleveland, Ohio, and I was walking in this music store and I saw this guitar and it had like this etched lagoon scene, you know, like from like Elvis and the Blue Hawaii, you know.
And it blew your mind.
Yeah, I was just, wow, and it was metal, and I was like, wow, that's really cool, you know. And so it immediately, once again, you know, it's like the song "Take Me Back Home." It's like, whoa, you know, man, that's where my head's at. So it was cheap. It was not a very good instrument, but that was okay. You know, and so that kind of introduced me to playing slide guitar, and from there, I just kind of kept going with what that was and what that feeling was, and then keep going and keep going and keep going. And then I bought my first real National, in I guess 2009, and then now I've got quite a few of them.
So you have a collection at this point.
Yeah, I've got a couple. And this particular instrument, this is my baritone. It's tuned really low. And now in an open chord for the next song. But it's a longer. I had this instrument custom built for me.
Oh wow!
It's all made in America. They're made on the original machines. So this is original.
How cool!
Design guitars, but with a cutaway with the modern twist, and of course it's a baritone, so it's longer. So it's it's got the modern twist to it. So and it's the same with songwriting. You're writing in an old style. You're trying to say something that's been said 10,000 times before, but you have to put your own twist on it. You have to put and in modern times, to get people to listen to it, you got to have that modern twist to it.
So you didn't start out playing guitar, right? You were a horn player originally.
Right.
Tell us about how did you transition from that, from being a horn player your whole life, and then one day you just decided I'm going to play guitar.
Yeah, I was I grew up a horn player, came over to Southern, spent a year in music school, and then went on the road. My daddy was band director, so I came up immersed in it all the time. We didn't have genres of music in my house. It was just there was music.
Yeah.
And I ended up moving to Meridian, Mississippi, and there was nowhere. I had no outlet. I had no outlet to play. And so what ended up happening was after about 6 or 7 months, I became very irritable. So I just decided,
you needed to let out that energy. Yeah.
So one day I decided I was going to play guitar, and so I went and bought myself a guitar.
Awesome. Well, how about you play another song for us, and then we'll talk a little more.
Sure.
You can start whenever you're ready.
Start whenever I'm ready. Go. See, let's do another one off. I dropped my copy of this off with Justin right before we played. So I'm going to do another one off that. This was called Will You Be Waiting? Running wild through the darkness, running fast, slow, and free, following the starlight, the space between you and me. Will you be waiting when I come calling for you? And are you whispering in the thunder? And are you trying to get through? Or will you be waiting? So many roads have been traveled, so many bridges have been crossed, but time is a way, Lord, of pushing on. Sometimes you feel lost. Will you be waiting when I come calling for you? And are you whispering in the thunder? And are you trying to get through? Or will you be waiting? Keep on pushing through the sands of time, finding the answers to questions gone by, but keep on moving forward and always wonder why. Will you be waiting when I come calling for you? And are you whispering in the thunder? And are you trying to get through? Will you be waiting when I come calling for you? And are you whispering in the thunder? Are you trying to get through? Will you be waiting when I come calling for you? Or are you whispering in the thunder? Are you trying to get through? Will you be waiting? Will you be waiting? Will you be waiting?
That was awesome. So is this song on your new album?
Wood and Steel.
What's the name of that song you just played?
Will you be waiting?
What was the inspiration for that?
Oh, that's all them deep and personal. Watching people, watching stuff, you know.
What drives you to keep playing?
Got to. Don't know.
Like you said earlier, you start to go crazy if you don't play.
Yeah, and I get, you know, I'll get like the, you know, life, human condition. That's why we write. That's why we do. You know, she was talking about poetry. And,
yeah.
You know, and it's you're driven to do it. And there's so many times that within the, no matter what you do here, you know, your job here or school or work and everyday life, you get tired and you get frustrated. And you go, I don't want to deal with this anymore. I don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah.
And then you try to quit, and you can't quit.
For sure.
You know.
So tell me about the first show. One of the first shows you ever performed.
Well.
Specifically the story you told me earlier.
With my rock and roll band?
The Cinder Block Building.
Yeah.
This is a crazy story.
My first rock and roll band, I was probably 15, and it was the band was put together out of a talent show, and they were all upperclassmen and graduating.
Were you the youngest?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
And but everybody knew who I was, and you know, from around town, and I was already kind of playing some out with my dad's bands and stuff, and so it was this big soul band, big horn section. And they booked this room, and we pull up, and it's like there's no windows. It's all cinder block, just gray cinder block.
What did you say, like no running water?
There was no running water. They had bad tap beer and no running water. So the band, 9-piece band, sets up in the corner, and we start playing to the derelicts that are there.
Yeah.
And they were having a good time, you know, and it's very interesting. And all of a sudden, the door flies open, and it slams against this cinder block, and the band's just like, it stops. It's, you know,
like
everybody just
pauses.
freaks out. Yes. And we turn around to this woman yelling at the guy behind the bar.
The guy who owns the place, right?
Yes. And shoots him.
Yeah.
And
this turned out to be his wife, right?
Right. And his name was Poor George. And Poor George got dead.
Oh my God.
But the band, you know, it's guitars and bass and drums and all this. We're horn players, man. It's like horns and case, and we're gone.
Yeah.
And it's like one of those scenes out of Porky's where the dude's just running down from the graveyard, you know. And
it really does sound like a scene from a movie.
Pulling up in the trailer. The cops are swarming. We're running down the highway
God.
with our horns on. And they pull up and get in the car. So we hop in, and you know, and then it was all over the news, and oh my God, yeah, that was.
Well, if that was like one of your first shows, it can't get any crazier than that.
No,
that like set the stage for your career.
That was.
So, are there any upcoming shows that we should know about? Anywhere you're playing?
Yeah, let's see. Next week, first week of April, yeah, I'll leave and hit a 4 or 5 day run starting in North Mississippi and West Point. I do West Point, the Meridian, then I go to Louisiana on Friday, and on Saturday, a big landmark for me, I'm headlining my first festival in Bay St. Louis.
That's exciting.
I'm breaking out my big band for it, so I'll have my horn players and a full rhythm section.
What's the name of this festival?
It's the Stella Blues Festival. Cool. It was it's to commemorate a writer that's from there, Tennessee Williams, and Streetcar for Desire. So they're going to have like this, Stella calling contest. And,
no way.
Yeah.
That's so funny. So if somebody wants to hear your music, they're interested in booking you, buying your music, how can they do that?
My website.
Tell us.
www.wesleymusic.com.
Do you have a Facebook?
Yes.
Okay.
I have a personal Facebook. I have the music page, Wesley Music page. I have Instagram.
Do you have any of your music sold locally?
No.
Or do you just go straight from your website?
All online or through me.
Awesome. Well, we'll put all that information on our Facebook page, and in just a minute, we'll get you to play another song for us and close us out, okay? As always, put in your request at southernmissradio.com. That's all we have for Southern Miss today. And listen in tomorrow because Wise Guys have a great sports show lined up for you. Keep the dial right here on Southern Miss Radio.
All right. Let's do one. This is a new one that I'm working on for my new record. This one's called Howlin'. She did a moon poem, so I'm going to do a moon song.
Perfect.
The moon, shining. Her body moves as the music plays again. It got so high she had to unwind. Bites of living drives me out of my mind. Howling in the moonlight again. Between midnight and day, a goddess comes through the mist. She's got a heavenly body, Lord, she's got heavenly hips. It got so high she had to unwind. Bites of living drives me out of my mind.